Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They try to fire up the running game with Martin. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They'll run it. Here's Martin. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Final minute now of the third quarter. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
They'll try the middle with Martin, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. They'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Johnson. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This is taken around the 12. A good return there, 17 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Wide open receiver complete. There he goes right side. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point attempt here still to come. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Jets ready to get going again here on offense. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth quarter hole. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
Taken in at the 22. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. That one looks like he'll throw here. Now this is caught by Martin. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter, and Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball, and sometimes even your special teams, and that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
I know we can sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And good field position coming up here. The football at the 12-yard line.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL, you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know they're not asking me, but I'll give you my opinion anyway. I think it's time to erase that play from the call sheet. I guess they figure with the big lead they can experiment a little bit. But all in all, just go ahead and put that play on ice.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Out of the gun now on third down. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now fourth down. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Smith running wide side. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game. So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Smith running wide side. And some room to roam now. Oh, look at the juke. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill. But remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes. And that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
Oh, and now they're going to fake it. This is caught out in the right flat. And this play is not going to work. He's out of bounds, well shy of the goal line. And the try for 2, unsuccessful.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here, trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number 1, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number 2, if you are going to go for 2, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession.
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. But not only is his defense pitching a shutout, now they're contributing points themselves. I mean, they have really put together what's almost been a perfect effort here in this one.
I love how you express that. They've absolutely exceeded expectations in this one, and even better than their play, it's been their effort. Even with the win in their back pocket already, every one of those guys is still out there fighting like it's a tie game.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed asleep. So for Miami, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season, and they will head home next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings.